Jianlan High School, Examination Room 301 of the college entrance examination. Chen Qiu sat behind the desk, looked at the paper in his hand, and rubbed his eyes in disbelief. He didn't sleep well last night because he was too nervous, so he is still dreaming? Shouldn't it be Cao Lizong now? But why do these strange questions appear on the paper? May I ask what is the method to distinguish the of Thunder Mouse? What kind of psychedelic beast is Thorn Seahorse? Chen Qiu rubbed the center of his brows. He definitely didn't sleep well, his eyes were blurry. Open your eyes again. What is the superpower trick that Lipstick Magneto can learn? Such a strange question. Is it very similar to the Pokemon animation he watched one episode before? But on the title of the test paper, it seems that it is not called an elf, but a phantom beast. No, the point is, it should be Cao Lizong now. Why is there such a problem? Well, as a top student, it doesn't matter if the topic is changed, as long as he is asked to memorize the book in advance. But now, with trembling hands, Chen Qiu handed in the answer sheet that had been filled out indiscriminately. Leaving aside what is going on in this world, he only knows that his college entrance examination results are over. Walking out of the class, Chen Qiu saw familiar people, familiar campuses, and familiar scenes. He took a deep breath and began to think about whether he had some kind of illness. Paranoia? Neuropathy? Schizophrenia? Still. Yuezi, what university do you choose after the college entrance examination? A familiar voice sounded from behind him. Chen Qiu turned his head stiffly, and swallowed his saliva when he saw Zheng Yun, his best friend who grew up with him. Yunzi, am I hopeless? Zheng Yun, confused face. Zheng Yun looked at Chen Qiu suspiciously, and subconsciously stretched out his hand to touch his forehead. I don't have a fever. Chen Qiu opened his hand, his face was full of despair. I'm doing the test now, and all I see are questions about some kind of phantom beast. It seems that I'm seriously ill. Yuezi, are you stupid? Today is the test of basic knowledge of eudemons. Zheng Yun looked at Chen Qiu like a fool. But then, he suddenly realized, oh, I see. Could it be that you were thinking about our school beauty last night, and your body was burning with lust, so you didn't sleep all night, and you got love sickness? Chen Qiu twitched the corners of his mouth. Is that the school bell Zhang Xiyun with a picture of a snake on his phone? He wouldn't be so hungry, right? At this moment, two candidates passed by them. Today's exam is so difficult. If you don't get in the top 100, discount Eudemon's eggs will be hopeless. Yes, the Eudemon's eggs at their own expense are really too expensive. Please bless me to be admitted to the top 100. Chen Qiu turned back stiffly, smiled dryly at Zheng Yun, and swallowed what he was going to say before. I'm done, I must have failed the exam. Zheng Yun laughed. Yuezi, don't be kidding, you have been a top student since you were a child, and you must be among the top 3 in this exam. Chen Qiu stared blankly at the white clouds in the distance. It must also be a physical and chemical creature, not a phantom beast foundation. What the is going on in this world? Is he crazy, or is the whole world crazy? A day later, Chen Qiu sat in front of the computer with an extremely decadent face. He finally figured out the current situation. I don't know if he traveled through time, or the world has changed. In short, without him knowing anything, the world around him changed. In life, there are so many phantom beasts that only exist in the anime world, or phantom beasts that he knows nothing about. Parents are still the same parents, uncles, aunts, and aunts have not changed. It has become the rules of this world, it's just that there are more phantom beasts. The key point is that the world's college entrance examination was held one day ago, and the test scores determine the chance to choose Eudemon's eggs. And this opportunity will greatly affect the students' qualifications to obtain the initial Eudemons. Because the next graduates will bring their Eudemons to study in different fields. It is commonly known as Huanzhou University. Huanshao University distinguishes different departments, namely the Department of Breeding, Department of Training, Department of Research, etc. Each department has compulsory and elective courses. Different grades determine the quality of the Huanju University you will go to in the future. Only students who have been admitted to the Huanju University can own more than 6 Huanju. There are still some who can't get into the Huanju University, so besides buying a Huanho at their own expense, they can't get extra Huanju. Unless you have obtained various certificates through self-study, such as Breeder Qualification Certificate, Trainer Qualification Certificate, Researcher Qualification Certificate and so on. Generally, high schools will set a threshold, and when this threshold is reached, there will be government funding and a chance to buy Eudemons eggs at a discount. Like them, the top 3 will get Clevel Eudemons eggs for free, and the top 100 will be able to buy different grades of Eudemons eggs with a 10% discount according to their rankings. So even if you can't get into the top Phantom Beast University and only go to the ordinary Phantom Beast University, you can save a lot of money by buying the original Phantom Beast. But the key point now is that Chen Qiu failed the exam. If he hadn't been in the final exam room when he came, Chen Qiu could use his super temporary memory to memorize part of the knowledge about Eudemons. Not necessarily, ABCD depends entirely on Mongolian. Now I can only rely on Bodhisattva to bless him, and the answering skills in the previous life are all correct. 3 short 1 long, choose the longest. Chen Qiu rubbed his eyebrows and gave up the idea of worshipping Buddha. Relying on his memory, he copied the test papers and matched the answers one by one. Although the answering skills are very useful, but the 300 point paper, he relied on the skills to answer less than 20% of the questions correctly. Looking at the price of the cheapest Phantom Beast egg found on the computer, Chen Qiu just wanted to help. The most cost-effective E-grade fat eye worm larvae eggs, the market price is 200,000 yuan. God knows why the worms lay eggs. 200,000 yuan? He only works for 100 yuan a day, how much does he have to work? If it doesn't work, you can only ask your parents for it, or repeat it. Reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Chen Qiu sighed, not knowing what to do. Just then, a mobile phone rang. Jingle bell. Xiao Yu, have you finished the exam? Mom won't ask you about your grades, you must have good grades. I heard that the top 3 can get a free Eudemons egg with good qualifications. Mom is so proud of you. As soon as the phone was picked up, the mother's excited voice came from the other end of the phone. Chen Qiu opened his mouth, unable to say the words failed in the exam. Repeat? Does he have the face to repeat it? Chen Qiu's face was full of confusion, he didn't know where to go in the future. Xiao Yu, I heard that students with good grades can choose a university by themselves, right? Mom doesn't know which university is good, so you can choose by yourself. Alone outside, you have to pay more attention to safety. By the way, you don't have to come back soon. Your father has a friend. Let us go to his place to play for a few months. We will call you for living expenses. When we come back, you'll probably go to school too, and it's winter vacation. When you come back, Mom will let the thick cow milk you. When Chen Qiu hangs up the phone in a daze, a text message prompting that the money has been credited soon appeared on the phone. It was his mother who gave him the latest living expenses. As for how many there are, he is not in the mood to see now, his whole mind is on what to do, what to do, what to do. Masters, take a look here, it's fate to click in, please be merciful. Baby Bottle has opened a new book, let's compare my heart to everyone. New books are easy to kill, follow-up reading is very important, remember to follow up to the latest chapter. Updates will be added from time to time, and updates will be added with huge rewards, you understand, hehe. Soon it will be the day of release. Chen Qiu stood under the wall where the rankings were released, silently looking at his ranking, which was 98th. Just as he expected. Zheng Yun squeezed excitedly to his side, Yuezi, I am 78th, am I serious? How many are you? Why didn't I see your name in the top 3? Chen Qiu glanced at him expressionlessly. Zheng Yun, who was familiar with his friend, immediately lost his smile. Could it be that he failed the exam? Before Chen Qiu could answer, a mocking voice came from the side. "Ha, the top student in the ranking has fallen to the 98th place. I really don't know how he got his previous grades." Zhang Zili looked at them with a mocking face. Zhang Zili's grades had always been lowered by Chen Qiu before, and now seeing that Chen Qiu got 98th in the exam, he felt very happy. "What? No 98? Zheng Yun's face changed drastically, and he immediately looked at the list, and soon found Chen Qiu's name at the bottom third on the list. "I heard that some schools also depend on their character when recruiting students. The former academic masters, but now they fail the college entrance examination, maybe they cheated on weekdays." The yin and yang voices kept coming, and Zhang Zili looked at Chen Qiu mockingly. "Forget it, whoever makes me a good person, I won't expose you. Anyway, you can't get into those top magic beast universities, ha 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 ha. Damn it, a dog can't spit out ivory." Zheng Yun rolled up his sleeves angrily and was about to step forward. Chen Qiu grabbed Zheng Yun. "Don't, you will be punished for fighting in school, and it will affect your going to Huanzhou University." Zheng Yun was so angry that he wanted to die, but this bastard, who framed your grades on weekdays, is cheating. Chen Qiu looked at Zhang Zili indifferently, and slowly spit out a few words. 10 years is not too late for a gentleman to take revenge." Looking at Chen Qiu's eyes, Zhang Zili felt a little cold in his heart, so he turned around and left without saying anything. Zheng Yun took a deep breath, and it took him a long time to calm down. He turned to look at Chen Qiu, saw him in a daze, thought of his score, and asked worriedly, "Then, what are you going to do? Why don't you go back to school for another year? With your strength?" Chen Qiu was silent for a while. "Let me go with you to see the Phantom Beast eggs first. Can't you buy a discounted Phantom Beast egg? I still have a summer vacation to consider, there is no rush." Zheng Yun nodded. This matter really needs to be carefully considered. In fact, it is not impossible for you to go to an ordinary university. It is the top 3 initial Eudemon's eggs who can choose Clevel. This opportunity cannot be missed. The price of a Clevel Eudemon's egg is not only over 1 million, but also requires a certain status to be able to buy it. A junior breeder certification or an entry-level trainer certification is required. For ordinary students, being able to obtain a Clevel initial Eudemon's egg can surpass most people to a certain extent. "Okay, it's not too late to take a look with you first and then make a decision." Chen Qiu smiled. For Chen Qiu, who has no understanding of Eudemons and this industry, the best choice is to wait and see. Afterwards, the two went to the Academic Affairs Office to receive the Phantom Beast Collection coupon. If Chen Qiu decides to repeat the study, then he only needs to not redeem this Eudemon's coupon. Anyway, this expired coupon will be invalid, and each person can only receive it once. There was already a long queue outside the largest official Huanzhou breeding house in Jianlan City. 2 hours later, Chen Qiu and Zheng Yun entered the breeding house. A beautiful receptionist, after registering their information, guided them to different rooms. "Zheng Yun, you can choose a Phantom Beast egg in a room below D level. Chen Qiu, you can choose a Eudemon's egg in a room below E level." Every room in the breeding house is divided into levels, and the qualifications of the Phantom Beast eggs placed in different levels of rooms are naturally different. "If I don't choose, can I follow to another room?" Chen Qiu asked. "Of course." The receptionist replied with a smile. "Thank you." Chen Qiu thanked him, and dragged Zheng Yun to the D-level room. The D-class and A-class rooms in the breeding house are the most. Many students are meditating and choosing inside. Walking into a D-level room, the first thing that catches the eye is rows of transparent cabinets, inside which are cute round eggs. These eggs have various colors, and most of the labels are stickers. Common Eudemons, such as drill mouse, fat eye worm, etc. The market price of a level monster like this needs to be about 400,000 to 800,000. Here, because of the receipt coupon, it only needs a 10% discount, that is, 40,000 to 80,000 to take home. Chen Qiu recalled that the living expenses given by his mother were very good, only 20,000, which he still couldn't afford. Zheng Yun was also very confused about which egg to buy. These eggs of the same race all looked the same. In fact, there is no difference between level and A-level eggs, but when testing qualifications, the eudemons hatched from level eggs have higher potential value and better aptitude, and the phantom beasts will advance faster in the future, stronger only. Of course, they are all grade eggs, and there are differences, but they can't see these differences. Zheng Yun was pondering which phantom beast to choose better. The fated worm can eventually evolve into a phantom butterfly, can psychedelic and hypnotize, has a short juvenile period, and can evolve quickly. It is a good choice for the initial phantom beast. If the diamond mouse evolves into a diamond mouse, if you go to archaeology, you may be able to find a lot of diamonds, and you will get rich. Chen Qiu. He coughed lightly, and patted Zheng Yun's shoulder. You choose slowly. Shall I go shopping elsewhere? Zheng Yun nodded. You reading www.yuyuganshu.com go, as long as you don't choose eudemon's eggs now. Chen Qiu smiled, and went to the room in the A-level area. He planned to take a look. Area E is different from Area D. There is an additional area here. The room in that area is very large, with a few words written on it. Random eudemon's egg. Random phantom beast egg. Chen Qiu curiously asked the female receptionist next to him, the phantom beast egg here is not tested. That's right. The eudemon's eggs in the other A-level rooms are all bred. After testing, they can at least be bred to the elite level. The female receptionist answered patiently. However, these random phantom beast eggs were searched in the wild. According to the appearance of the phantom beast eggs, they were classified here, and they did not pass the test. After all, the cost of testing phantom beast eggs is not small. So although it is marked as E and so on, the qualifications hatched may be even worse, and it is not impossible to reach F grade. Chen Qiu frowned. Isn't that similar to the gamblers outside? The receptionist smiled. Those phantom beast eggs that gamble with eggs may only have worse qualifications and poorer appearance. Sometimes, the phantom beasts that hatch may be disabled. At least the phantom beast eggs in the breeding house are not. There will be problems like this. Then, can I think that among these phantom beast eggs, it is possible to hatch one with a higher qualification than E? Chen Qiu raised his eyebrows slightly and asked. It's possible, but it's not high, because all the good-looking eggs are picked out for testing, and the rest. The female receptionist didn't finish her sentence, but the meaning was obvious. Chen Qiu suddenly realized that if he could obtain a D or level phantom beast egg here in Zone E, then there would be no need to repeat the study. Thinking of this, he walked towards this room with great interest. Compared with other rooms full of people, this room is simply empty. No, it should be said that no one entered this room except Chen Qiu. Occasionally, people who walked in curiously turned around and left immediately when they saw the word random pasted on the shelf. Obviously you can get E-grade eggs. Why would you want to bet on eggs that may be as low as F grade? As for those that exceed E grade, no one has selected them in the breeding house so far. The female receptionist was able to talk so much before, because Chen Qiu and the others were college entrance examination students. Usually, those ordinary people who don't have enough money, don't understand phantom beast eggs, and are greedy for cheap, will buy these errant random phantom beast eggs. After all, the price of the random eudemon's eggs here is the cheapest, cheaper than the cheapest A-class eudemon's eggs. Standing in the huge room, Chen Qiu looked at the phantom beast eggs on the shelves, took a slight breath, suppressed his excitement, and looked. There are many phantom beast eggs in this room, all of the same size, but the patterns are very strange. Because many eggs have piebald patterns, some eggs are still dark. Compared with the eggs in the previous rooms, it is really hard to describe. Although these eggs have been cleaned, some scratches can still be seen. They are obviously unknown eggs brought back from the wild. He thought for a moment, then looked at the female receptionist beside him. Each room will have a special reception, and there will be several receptions in the outside area, all for the purpose of clearing up the confusion and going through the collection procedures for those who come to choose. Chen Qiu walked over, and asked in a gentle voice, if the phantom beast eggs here are sold under normal conditions, how much does one cost? Of course, the female receptionist knew that all the students who came here today were college entrance examination students, so she said with a smile, no matter the variety or classification, they are all 10,000 yuan. Chen Qiu breathed a sigh of relief, fortunately he had enough money. I have a question, Chen Qiu smiled softly, his handsome face made the receptionist in front of him blush slightly. You ask. If I buy it according to the market price, will my voucher be saved? If I repeat my studies next year and get a better voucher, can I still choose another one? That's right, Chen Qiu's idea was exactly that. Repeating a year of study means that he will be able to go to university 1 year later than others. If he raises a phantom beast egg during this year, he can choose another one when he goes to university and has a coupon. Eudemon's eggs. Although for other people, they may not choose the initial phantom beast but choose random phantom beast eggs, but as long as he goes to university, the number of phantom beasts he can raise will reach 6. Of course, if you don't go to university, but get a professional title, the number of eudemons you can raise will also increase. He is confident that he will be able to obtain a professional title, so he doesn't care about raising one more phantom beast with not particularly good aptitude. Anyway, he doesn't know much about eudemons yet, so it's good to buy a cheap one first and study it. The female receptionist hesitated for a moment, then nodded, indeed, if you are admitted to the university, the number of eudemons will increase to 6, and you can indeed buy another one with a coupon. In fact, it is not that no one buys phantom beast eggs in advance before going to college, but those are all wealthy families, and no one will buy random phantom beast eggs. That's fine. The smile on Chen Qiu's face became brighter. He turned around, looked at the colorful baby eggs, took a deep breath, walked to a shelf, pointed to a slightly larger white egg with a little black spot and said, I want it. The female receptionist was surprised for a moment, then nodded, and asked, which one is it? Is it the white one with black spots? Chen Qiu was about to agree with a smile, but his eyes fell on the egg, and he froze for an instant. Because around the egg, a frame appeared with some words inside. Shepherd's milk young eggs qualification, Class F potential value, 9 fuck, what did he see? Is this egg grade F? He picked an franc egg? Is that one? I'll take it out for you. The receptionist asked again. Wait. Chen Qiu hesitated, he looked at the other eggs, but those words did not appear. I'll change it, that pink-gray egg is pretty good. After Chen Qiu finished speaking, he waited for a while, and took a special look at the pink-gray egg. But no text appears. What's going on? Shouldn't it be Goldfinger? Or is there something wrong with what he said? What did I say about this Mew Mew milk egg before? I want it. Chen Qiu said again hesitantly. The female receptionist nodded, ready to get the pink-gray egg. But at this moment, Chen Qiu's eyes suddenly burst into joy, and suddenly shouted again, wait. The female receptionist was taken aback by him and looked at him in surprise. Because at this moment, a text box appeared in front of Chen Qiu again, but this time the text box appeared on the pink-gray egg. Drilling rat eggs qualification, Class E potential value, 23. Sure enough, I can see it. But the text next to the Mew Mew milk egg before was gone. In other words, will these words appear only after he has confirmed which egg he wants to buy? Sir, which one do you want to buy? The waitress asked weakly. Still have to try again. Chen Qiu looked at all the eggs, and Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com pointed to another one. I want it. Okay, do you want to change it? Hold on. Receptionist. Half an hour later, the female receptionist bowed towards the door with a pale face, and said respectfully, "Congratulations to this gentleman for raising the phantom beast egg." Chen Qiu happily embraced the black and white Lakaiyu in his arms, and left with the blue spotted egg. The female receptionist suddenly lost her legs and fell to the ground, crying. This person is too bad, he deliberately pointed out all these phantom beast eggs. It seems that people really can't be judged by their appearance, so handsome, but such a bad personality. Chen Qiu walked ahead with great satisfaction. If the color is not pure, it means that the parents of the phantom beasts that lay eggs have very different races, or very different aptitudes. This is what he read in the textbook on the basic knowledge of eudemons. But this is not absolute. He looked at the egg in his arms and smiled like a fool. Baby ugly fish laying eggs qualification, grade B potential value, 71. Those Flavel and Alevel eudemons eggs are compared to this one. There are also Clevel eudemons eggs that can be obtained by the top 3 in the college entrance examination, all of which are 1 grade lower than it. Do you want to repeat it? Read a thread. If you have a Blevel eudemon's egg, you still need to read some wool, so go directly to the job title test. Chen Qiu excitedly hugged the phantom beast egg and walked towards the front desk. Zheng Yun and Zhang Zili were waiting for him at the front desk with big eyes and small eyes. Seeing Chen Qiu coming out with an egg in his arms, Zheng Yun's eyes widened in an instant, and he exclaimed, "Yuezi, you don't want to buy an A-class eudemon's egg here, do you?" As soon as Zheng Yun finished speaking, Zhang Zili sneered, "You also said that Chen Qiu failed the exam. If that's the case, why didn't he repeat the exam? The top 3 can choose a Clevel phantom beast egg. It's good now, I just bought an A-level phantom beast egg." Sure enough, you, Chen Qiu, got the points by cheating before. You. Zheng Yun's 3 orifices were smoking, and he put the phantom beast egg in his arms on the counter, and was about to rush up. He wants Zhang Zili to be crushed on the ground, and if he doesn't turn into a pig's head, he won't be called Zheng Yun. Stop! The security guards on both sides quickly rushed over to hold Zheng Yun down. The supervisor of the breeding house also rushed over after hearing the sound. What happened? Chen Qiu originally had a bright smile on his face, but he didn't expect the matter to develop to this point in an instant. He coughed lightly, and hurried forward to explain, "It's just a quarrel between classmates, it's okay, it's okay." Zheng Yun was furious, "Uzi, it's fine if others slander you, what are you still doing with that egg? You are not allowed to choose, you have to repeat. From childhood to adulthood, when did you, Chen Qiu, fall out of the first place?" Zheng Yunyu became angrier as he spoke, and his eyes started to turn red when he looked at Chen Qiu. He didn't understand, what happened to his best friend. Chen Qiu patted Zheng Yun's shoulder calmly, "Hey, what's the hurry, it's not like you can only buy phantom beast eggs with coupons." In a word, Zheng Yun was stunned for a moment, "I don't need a coupon to buy it. What do I use to buy it?" The supervisor at the side listened to their conversation for a while, and guessed what happened. He thought that the child failed the college entrance examination, and his partner wanted him to repeat the exam. He stepped forward to persuade, yes, don't worry, you don't need coupons to buy, you can buy with money, and you won't waste the quota of coupons. Wait until the next exam, and you will have a chance to get a better ticket." Only then did Zheng Yun suddenly realize that he had made an oolong, and his face turned red. "Well, Uzi, I'm sorry, I'm just too nervous." Chen Qiu put his arms around his neck, "You are all for me, just don't be so impulsive in the future. And I didn't lie, I just said that I can buy it with money, not that I want to buy it with money, right? Cough cough, it doesn't matter if I don't read it again after the eudemons hatch. Hey, it's so hard to be a human being. Humph. Zhang Zili obviously didn't think of this move, but he didn't say anything, turned around and left holding his phantom beast egg. He was just mocking. If Chen Qiu really got the first place in the exam, he would be the one who would be ashamed. Zheng Yun came back to his senses, knowing that Chen Qiu would not give up on repeating the study. He also calmed down, and glared fiercely at Zhang Zili's back. Just this guy, sooner or later he will be beaten up. Zheng Yun finished registering at the counter, and after Chen Qiu registered with him, he went upstairs with him to activate and bind the Phantom Beast formation. The first time you get a Phantom Beast, you need to activate the Phantom Beast formation. After activation, you can become a beast trainer. After that, you don't need to go to the breeding house to activate every time you get a Phantom Beast, you can bind it yourself. Only bound eudemons must be registered. Of course, some beast trainers above the gymnasium level are qualified to activate the Phantom Beast array for their disciples and children. They can activate it by themselves, but they also need to register with the official. Chen Qiu and the others who had just graduated from high school were naturally taken directly to the second floor of the breeding house to activate the magic beast formation. The second floor of the breeding house is a very large hall, and a complex formation is carved on the ground, which looks very similar to a magic formation. Directly above the formation, there is a super large magic crystal display screen that is more than 10 meters long and several meters wide. Beside the formation, there are already quite a few students queuing up. Chen Qiu's eyes lit up, staring straight at the formation. At the center of the formation at this time, there is a person who is activating the Phantom Beast formation. On the magic circle, there is a special place for Phantom Beast eggs. The student stood in the center of the magic circle, facing the Phantom Beast eggs. A middle-aged man in a gold-rimmed white robe was standing right in front of the magic circle. In front of him was a magic crystal platform more than 1 meter high, with a red transparent crystal connected to it. Calm down, let's start. The middle-aged man put his hand on the crystal, and on the back of his hand was a magic circle that was exactly the same as the ground, except that the magic circle had shrunk countless times. The magic circle disappeared in a flash, and the red crystal immediately burst into dazzling light, and a wave of energy was transmitted from the red crystal. It spread down the high platform and touched the ground, instantly lighting up the magic circle on the ground. A burst of red light shrouded the Phantom Beast egg and the student. On the back of the student's hand, the magic circle that was the same as that on the middle-aged man's hand slowly appeared. At the same time, such a magic circle also appeared on the Phantom Beast egg. It has appeared, it has appeared, look at the magic crystal screen. Someone exclaimed. Chen Qiu looked up subconsciously, and saw the picture displayed on the magic crystal screen. It was a fat white bug with a pair of cute big eyes on its forehead, so cute that it wanted to make people scream. Next to it, there are some words: Fat Eye Worm Young Egg Qualification, Grade D Potential Value, 37. Chen Qiu's breath was stagnant, and he looked down at his Phantom Beast egg. Sure enough, it was exactly the same as the subtitle he saw just now. Chen Qiu immediately fell into deep thought. At present, his golden finger can only see the function of this subtitle. Obviously, he needs to continue digging in the later stage. Usefulness. Let's go, Yuezi, don't be in a daze. Zheng Yun dragged Chen Qiu to the back of the team, but he would not admit it, he was dumbfounded before. Zhang Zili arrived earlier than them and was already in the middle of the line. The student with the fat eye worm baby egg has been activated, and happily holds the eudemon's egg to register. 37's aptitude is not bad. Chen Qiu said slowly. Yeah, I hope my eudemon's aptitude can break through 40. Zheng Yun held the Phantom Beast egg in his arms, and was also looking forward to it. The activation of the magic circle was quite fast, and it didn't take even a minute for one person, and soon it was Zhang Zili's turn. He was holding the Phantom Beast egg, obviously a little excited, and stood carefully in the center of the magic circle. After a while, exclamations came from around. Damn it, look, it's a lightning mouse with aptitude 58. Amazing! A Clevel Phantom Beast Egg, isn't this the top 3 boss? The qualification range of Clevel is from 51 to 60, and 58 is already the top qualification of Clevel. Zhang Zili looked up and saw the qualification information of his Thunder Mouse, with ecstasy on his face. He hugged the Phantom Beast Egg and didn't leave, but stood beside the magic circle, looking at Chen Qiu and Zhang Yun sarcastically. Did you see that? I got the Eudemon's Egg with the top Clevel qualification, Chen Qiu. From today onwards, you will never be able to walk in front of me again. It doesn't matter if you repeat your studies. You are a year later than me. By the time you sign a Clevel Eudemon's Egg, I may have already signed a stronger Eudemon's Egg. From now on, you will always only be able to look at my back and never catch up. Ha 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 ha. You. Zhang Yun was about to die of anger. This Zhang Zili used to see them with their nostrils upturned, talking sour words everywhere. If it weren't for Chen Qiu's good grades and his superiority, Zhang Yun would have been unable to stand it. But now it's better, Chen Qijiao failed the exam, this guy started to jump up. Now he has squeezed into the top 3, got a Clevel Eudemon's Egg, and even picked him such a good qualification. Zhang Yunkai's hands creaked. Yuezi, go, get another Phantom Beast Egg, I still have pocket money, first I will lend you to buy a Drank Phantom Beast Egg. We can't buy Clevel ones, but level ones can always give you a slightly higher start. Chen Qiu frowned slightly, is Zhang Yun's family so rich? Hundreds of thousands of pocket money? Do you have so much pocket money? 8-class Phantom Beast Egg costs hundreds of thousands. Zhang Yun said loudly, no. Chen Qiu. But I can ask my dad to withdraw all my future pocket money in advance. Chen Qiu smiled brightly, and put his arms around Zhang Yun's neck. Yunzi, thank you for your kindness, but it's not necessary, it's only a year, and after a year, who will be in front may not be sure. Hey, Yuezi, don't be stupid. After going to the Huanzhou University, the improvement of Huanzhou's strength is completely different from raising Huanzhou by yourself. Zhang Yun persuaded earnestly. But Chen Qiu just smiled and didn't answer. Okay, I see, you don't believe I can get so much pocket money. Just wait. Seeing that Chen Qiu didn't speak, Zhang Yun also reacted, and directly took out the phone from his pocket. Hey, Dad, I want to overdraft my pocket money for the next 50 years, 10,000 a year, you can call me $500,000. The voice on the other end of the phone paused. Bastard, have you finally given up? Stop pretending. Begging Dad. What gave up? I didn't give up. What I want is pocket money for the next 50 years. But before Zhang Yun finished speaking, he saw Chen Qiu walking towards the magic circle holding the Phantom Beast Egg. Before they knew it, it was their turn. Oh Dad, I won't tell you any more, I'll stop him first. Zhang Yun raised his foot and was about to rush towards the magic circle, shouting sadly, Yuezi, come back. Don't go. The staff who controlled the order immediately stepped forward and stopped Zhang Yun, and shouted, what are you doing? When it is activated, others cannot enter the magic circle, don't you know? Get out, he won't activate, don't let him activate. Zhang Yun struggled frantically and was about to rush towards the magic circle. But it was still a step too late, and the magic circle was already lit up with red light. Then the magic crystal screen also lit up. There was an instant silence. Everyone looked at the magic crystal screen in disbelief, and some even rubbed their eyes with their hands and gasped. Zhang Yun's heart was bleeding. That's right, because Yuez's Phantom Beast Egg aptitude is too bad. The Irank Phantom Beast Egg he took, maybe he chose a very bad Phantom Beast that fell to Frank? That's why everyone was so surprised. It's over, Yuezi is over, his future, woo woo woo. It's all me, woo woo woo, why didn't I pull him out first, woo woo, it's all me. There was a burst of exclamation all around, my god, Am I right? What level of qualification is that? Level, with a potential value of 79. It turned out to be a top-level qualification. No way, the breeding house can have such a level of qualification. The sobbing Zheng Yun was stunned. What? What grade? Class B 79? Potential value 79? Did he hear correctly? Zheng Yun raised his head and looked at the magic crystal screen. An ugly fat-head fish with brown spots all over its body and a pair of dead fish eyes appeared on the left side of the magic crystal screen, and its data was on the right side. Baby ugly fish laying eggs qualification, grade B potential value, 79 impossible, every phantom beast egg has been tested for aptitude, how could such a phantom beast egg be selected? I know that there is a place in the breeding house where the phantom beast eggs have not passed the qualification test. It's a random Eudemon's egg in the A-level area. The people around were in an uproar in an instant. This student is so lucky. In the A-level area, I went to choose a random phantom beast egg, and unexpectedly picked a B-level phantom beast. Zheng Yun stood there in a daze, his eyes fixed on the magic crystal screen. Hey, brat, you yelled so badly just now, did something happen? Father Zheng's worried roar came from the phone. Okay, I've already called the 500,000 yuan, do you want it? Where is it? I'll come right here. Zheng Yun raised his hand in a daze, and put the phone to his ear. No need, Dad, I was performing a stage play just now, ha, 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 ha. Beep beep. The phone on the other side immediately hung up. Standing next to the magic circle, Zhang Zili stared at the magic crystal screen with his eyes widened. The most unacceptable thing is him. Just now I was talking about entering the university a year earlier than Chen Qiu, but now, Chen Qiu has obtained a B-level Eudemons. He originally said that Chen Qiu would never be able to catch up with him, but in the next second, he was slapped in the face. A flash of resentment flashed in Zhang Zili's eyes. B-level, so what about B-level? Taking advantage of the fact that no one else was paying attention to him, he ran away desperately holding the phantom beast egg. 5 minutes later, Zheng Yun also finished activating. He was still in a state of sleepwalking, and followed Chen Qiu to register the Eudemon's eggs. Yuezi, let me tell you, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. I had a dream just now, and I dreamed that you activated a B-level phantom beast egg. Zheng Yun patted his cheek, came to his senses, moved to Chen Qiu's side mysteriously, and whispered. Chen Qiu handed over the Eudemon's certificate registered in his hand. Take a look. Zheng Yun took it over and looked at it, and his expression changed instantly. It's not a dream. Yuezi, you have developed. You have a B-level phantom beast, and you have to repeat a woolen thread. The corners of Chen Qiu's mouth curled up slightly, and he said lightly, yes. I won't read it again. Zheng Yun hugged his phantom beast egg, and looked at the one in Chen Qiu's hand enviously. Otherwise, I'll buy a random phantom beast egg later. Can you choose for me? Chen Qiu said with a smile. After a while, now, you may not have a chance. Chen Qiu stopped in his tracks and looked towards Area E. Zheng Yun turned his head and saw a group of people buzzing at the door of the room with the random Eudemon's eggs in Area E. I want this egg. This egg is mine. I want it. Zheng Yun. Chen Qiu smiled, and secretly said, actually, there are no other good eggs in it. He looked at the egg in Zheng Yun's arms. In fact, Yun's egg was quite qualified. Zheng Yun shook his head regretfully. Forget it, raising a phantom beast is quite expensive, let's talk about it after college. Chen Qiu nodded. After all, a person's mental strength is limited, so it's not suitable to sign multiple phantom beasts in a short period of time. Just as the two of them walked out of the breeding house, Chen Qiu's phone rang. Hello, is this student Chen Qiu? This is Qingda University. Are you willing to come to Qingda University? We would like to specially recruit you into Qingda University's Beast Training Department. Chen Qiu stood there, frowning slightly. You mean, Kingda's Beast Training Department? Yes, we checked your scores before, and your usual grades are very good, but the last grade of the college entrance examination obviously does not match the other grades. In addition, you just selected the only level Eudemon's egg from the 11 random Eudemon's eggs with your own knowledge, so we are willing to specially recruit you to enter Kingda University. The voice of the visitor was very young, clear and clean, and very pleasant. Chen Qiu hung up the phone without hesitation. People nowadays don't even find a better reason to lie to others. If Kingda recruits others so easily, is it still the most difficult university in the country? Really, if you want to lie to him as a top student, there is no way. No, there are no windows. In the admissions office of Kingda University, a young female teacher stared blankly at the phone in her hand. This is the first time since she became a tutor at Kingda University, someone dared to hang up on her phone. The female teacher's hands trembled slightly, and then she stared viciously at the paper in her hand. Chen Qiu, okay, if you have the guts, don't come to Kingda University, otherwise I will make you look good. Just as Chen Qiu hung up the phone, he turned around and saw the curious and excited Zheng Yun. Fuck, Yuezi, you are so awesome. Kingda's special move. Zheng Yun's excited body twisted. Chen Qiu waved his hand casually, no, harassing calls. Zheng Yun's smile froze, but you just said. It's fooling him, they were so scared that they didn't dare to speak when they heard me talking about the Kingda Beast Familiar Training Department. Chen Qiu smiled without changing his face. Zheng Yun. The two held a phantom beast egg in each hand, and a bottle of nutrient solution as a gift. After returning home, they only needed to soak the phantom beast egg in the nutrient solution for 2 weeks, and then the phantom beast hatched. The two bid farewell at the intersection, and Chen Qiu walked quickly to his rental house. In order to be able to study and study better, Chen Qiu rented a house outside the school by himself when he was a sophomore in high school. In this way, people in the dormitory will not be disturbed when studying at night. Because in some language subjects, he likes to read aloud. Now it's more convenient for Chen Qiu to raise Eudemons. At the corner, there was a person standing there looking coldly at Chen Qiu's back, with resentment and jealousy in his eyes. When Chen Qiu got home, he found a wash basin and put the phantom beast eggs in it, and then poured the nutrient solution into the wash basin. Afterwards, he went to the computer and began to look up information about the giant ugly fish. For Eudemons, Chen Qiu was unfamiliar, completely unfamiliar. After all, he is not like other people who live beside Eudemons every day, and he knows more or less about Eudemons. He seems to have traveled directly, completely out of place. Chen Qiu once doubted whether he had lost his memory or if he had really time traveled, but the same life made him confirm the authenticity of this world. Even the daughter of the landlord of the rental house is exactly the same as he remembered, with the same panties, the black lace. Chen Qiu retracted his head from the window and closed the window. He didn't mean to see it. Who let the landlord's daughter live next door to him? After closing the window, Chen Qiu returned to his seat, took out the Eudemon's knowledge book, and began to read it with relish. On his desk, there is an excerpt of various materials about giant ugly fish. The giant ugly fish, a kind of fish phantom beast, is an amphibian of water and air. Although it looks extremely ugly, it is kind-hearted, sentimental, and extremely loyal. And the evolution type of the giant ugly fish, Mei Ling Long, is an extremely rare phantom beast, but most of the giant ugly fish are difficult to evolve. So while the clownfish is well suited to be a loyal companion, not many people choose it. Seeing this, Chen Qiu reached out and rubbed his forehead. Although he picked out a level phantom beast, it was a phantom beast that couldn't evolve, which surprised him a bit. According to the information he has tirelessly consulted on the internet and in the library these days, it is not that most of the giant ugly fish cannot evolve, but most of the giant ugly fish cannot evolve. Not to say 100%, but 99.99% cannot evolve. That is to say, Chen Qiu chose a phantom beast, which is relatively good in the short term. He sighed, ready to study the skills of the giant ugly fish. But before that, he checked the time on his phone, and it was time to play the song. Chen Qiu clicked on the music icon on the computer and played a relatively soothing music. Although he is not very familiar with raising phantom beasts, he still knows about raising cubs. Before, he helped his aunt in his hometown to take care of his 2-year-old cousin for a while, and learned the knowledge of raising a baby. This is called prenatal education. Before birth, listen to music for the baby in the womb, oh, no, the baby in the egg to cultivate their sentiments. Before going to bed every day, open the story book, hold the wash basin, and tell stories to Zai Zai. Of course, he also read the books on breeding, and there was a sentence in it that touched him deeply. Eudemons, like humans, have emotions and can experience good and evil. He is kind to Zai Zai, and after Zai Zai hatches, he will wholeheartedly cooperate with his experiments. Bah, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com grows together, doesn't it? But within a few days, Chen Qiu discovered something was wrong. The eggs of his giant ugly fish cubs seemed to be absorbing the nutrient solution much faster than he imagined. Chen Qiu looked through the information carefully. Strange, logically speaking, this nutrient solution should last for 2 weeks? Could it be? His face changed slightly, he remembered something, and opened the hatching picture. In the picture, all kinds of eggs are soaked in the nutrient solution. It's just that those eggs are all soaked in a special container of nutrient solution, which can soak the whole egg. And Chen Qiu glanced at the wash basin he used to soak the eggs, and the corners of his mouth twitched. Zai Zai, I'm sorry, it was all my mistake. Chen Qiu immediately placed an emergency order on his mobile phone, found a proxy to buy it, and bought 3 nutrient solutions for 10,000 yuan. Half an hour later, the nutrient solution arrived. Chen Qiu replaced the wash basin with a bucket, and carefully put his precious egg in it. Then all the 3 nutrient solutions were poured in, covering the whole egg. Watching the egg float up and down in the nutrient solution, Chen Qiu felt an unprecedented sense of accomplishment. Is this raising cubs? He suddenly remembered that he had called him before, claiming to be a liar for recruiting students from Qingda University. By the way, I'm going to fill out the volunteer application soon, and I have to choose a major. If Chen Qiu thought about choosing the profession of trainer before, he has changed his mind now. He glanced at the lovely baby egg. He decided, he wants to be a breeder. Raise the cutest, most beautiful, most charming clownfish. Boom boom boom. Just when Chen Qiu had lofty ambitions, there was a knock on the door of his rental house. Who is it? Chen Qiu opened the door, and saw the landlord's daughter standing at the door with a shy face. The 16-year-old girl already has a graceful figure, with a tendency to be fleshy. Chen Qiu glanced at her most prominent spot inadvertently, coughed lightly. It's Xiaoai, what's the matter? Zhang Yi tapped the index fingers of both hands together in embarrassment, with his head down, not daring to look at Chen Qiu, blushing on his face, and asked in a soft voice, well, brother you, which university are you going to go to? Will you be in this city? Zhang Yi's voice was very low, but the surrounding was very quiet, and Chen Qiu could hear it clearly. Ha, what's the matter? Don't you want to part with brother? Chen Qiu said with a casual smile. But Zhang Yi's face turned even redder. Although he didn't answer yes, he didn't answer no either. Chen Qiu's face became stiff in an instant, and he just said it casually. Although Xiaoai's figure is very good, and her appearance can be considered Xiaojiabiu, but she is only 16 years old. It seems to be a minor, 3 years old? Chen Qiu slapped himself. I just said it casually, don't worry about it, I haven't decided yet, let's see when the time comes. Hearing what Chen Qiu said, Zhang Yi let out a disappointed oh. Seeing the somewhat disappointed Zhang Yi, Chen Qiu coughed lightly, but couldn't help but soften his voice. Well, if I'm sure which school I went to, I'll let you know. Zhang Yi's eyes lit up instantly, and he raised his head to look at Chen Qiu. Brother Yu, then it's settled. After finishing speaking, she turned around and ran away, trembling as she ran. Chen Qiu swallowed, and was about to close the door. Really, at such a young age and growing up so big, I don't know what to eat. But immediately, a low voice from the landlady came. Are you looking for that Chen Qiu again? What do I say to you? Isn't the rich second generation popular? You have to stick to him. If he is a real academic master, he will be the third from the bottom in the college entrance examination. Chen Qiu raised his eyebrows. He was third from last? Brother Yu is number 98. That's the third from the bottom of the top 100. You can only go to a garbage university. It's not as good as the one in your uncle's grandfather's house. The pure and rich second generation. Chen Qiu closed the door expressionlessly. Hey, I still have a Blevel demon's egg. He was silent for a while, walked to the bed, picked up the bucket from the ground, put it on his lap, and opened a story book. Today, the story to tell is about the 3 little sheep. What he didn't notice was that the phantom beast egg in the bucket moved slowly. The next day was to go to school to fill in the application form. Chen Qiu walked slowly on the campus with his bag on his back, and yawned. Last night he dreamed that Xiao Ai was wearing an apron and got into his bedding. Then the landlady rushed in with a rolling pin. And then, Xiao Ai's face turned into a school beauty with a pea picture and a snake face, which frightened him and woke him up. Then I didn't dare to sleep again, and read until dawn. Yo, Yuezi, congratulations, why are you still here? Didn't old Ban say in the group last night that you should go to his office early in the morning? Zheng Yun slapped Chen Qiu on the shoulder, and said with a smile, I heard it's good news, there are several schools that want to recruit you. Chen Qiu was taken aback, there really is a school that wants to recruit him? Thinking of calling him to tell him about Kingda's special recruitment, he felt a little guilty for no reason. No, at most it's some slightly better university special offers, right? Chen Qiu laughed twice. Okay, then I'll go to the office now. As soon as he walked to the door of the office, he saw their class teacher Lu Cheng coming out with the materials. When Lu Cheng saw Chen Qiu, a smile appeared on his face immediately. Ah, Qiu is here, come in and sit. He took the documents and walked back to the office. Chen Qiu followed Lu Cheng into the office, but there were no other teachers in the office. Sit, Lu Cheng asked Chen Qiu to sit across from his desk, then smiled, I was just about to go to the office with the materials to fill in the application form. You just came, so I'll tell you about your special recruitment first. Chen Qiu nodded, sat upright, and swallowed nervously. After all, he really didn't do well in his last subject, and he didn't know which school would specially recruit him. Lu Cheng looked Chen Qiu up and down, and he became more and more satisfied with this honest appearance. Originally, I thought you would be able to take the first place in the exam, but I didn't expect that there was a problem in the last one. Did you get sick later? Chen Qiu laughed dryly, and nodded embarrassingly. That's right, otherwise you wouldn't do so poorly in the exam. I saw Zheng Yun touching your forehead before, did you have a fever? Hey, you little boys, it's fine to live in the dormitory, and you still apply to live off campus, okay, you're the last one of the college entrance examination, and you're still sick. Fortunately, your grades are good, and you can still squeeze into the top 100. What if your grades are slightly worse? Lu Cheng was talking to himself, and while speaking, he took out the materials specially prepared for Chen Qiu from the drawer and put them in front of him. Let's take a look. Here are the information of Qing University, Magic University, and State University. A few days ago, they called the school to inform the school that UU Reading www.uuganshu.com has specially recruited you. You can take a look and choose one. Qiu, it's thanks to me. I told them all about your usual grades, and said that you failed the last one because you were sick. Otherwise, these places will not be easy to win. By the way, I heard that you were still in the 11 random Eudemon's egg room, and you picked the only Blevel Eudemon's egg. Sure enough, it is worthy of the first place, but it is different. It can be skillfully applied to real life, which is beyond the reach of others. Lu Cheng was still nagging. Sweat dripped from Chen Qiu's forehead. Fuck, shit, why is what this old Lu said exactly the same as the young woman who called him that day? No, is that really not a harassing phone call? Didn't he just hang up the call to the admissions office of Qingda University? Chen Qiu swallowed his saliva, managed to calm down, and began to look at the documents in his hand. Qingda, one of the best universities in the country, is the #1 university on the North Shore honor list. Magic University, one of the best universities in the country, ranked first in the South Bank honor list. State University, one of the best universities in the country, ranks first in the China Coast honor list. Chen Qiu. How could he be recruited by such three universities at the same time with a score of 97? Just because he picked a Blevel Eudemon's egg from the 11 random Eudemon's eggs? How magical does it look? Is there any special situation? Chen Qiu didn't know, but there was such a good opportunity, why would he miss it? He began to look through the admissions classes for him from the three universities. The Demon University and the State University all specially recruited him from the Beast Familiar Training Department, and the Qing University was. Chen Qiu's eyes lit up, the Breeding Department. Qingda even specially recruited him to the Breeding Department. It seems that the woman who called him before was indeed a liar. The special move of seriousness is that he was recruited into the Breeding Department instead of the Training Department. Haha, he is really smart and not fooled. Lu Cheng explained to him with a smile on his side, the specializations of different schools are different, and of course the requirements are also different. However, as the University of Monsters, the cultivation of monsters in the three universities is top-notch. The resources that can be obtained from the school every month are also the best. Especially the training class, which can give my Eudemons more exercise, so that they can participate in various competitions in the future. Although Qingda University didn't send you a training class for special recruits, the breeding class of Qingda University is also very good. Of course, I suggest that you still choose the training class, so that you will have more jobs in the future. After Lu Cheng introduced the three universities, he stood up and said, "Okay, you take the materials, and go back to the class first, and I will also take the materials that other students filled in their volunteers. You just need to make sure, and when you fill out the volunteers in a unified way later, you can fill it out and hand it in." Chen Qiu nodded and followed behind Lu Cheng. Back in the class, the students had almost arrived. Seeing Chen Qiu walking in, Zheng Yun quickly reached out to greet him. As soon as Chen Qiu walked to his side and sat down, Zheng Yun couldn't wait to ask, "How? Is it a special move?" While speaking, he winked at the same time, looking a little funny. A long-haired girl at the table in front of Chen Qiu turned her head when she heard this, and looked at him with a frown. "Chen Qiu, you failed all the last exams, and your score is only 98, why is there a special offer from the school?" "You." This girl's name is Wang Xingqiu, and she has always been the top 3 in her class. She has never passed Chen Qiu in the exam. But this time in the college entrance examination, she ranked 4th in the school and 2nd in the class, which is considered an excellent result. But with such good grades, she didn't even get a special offer from the school. How could Chen Qiu get it? Chen Qiu glanced at Wang Xingqiu. Obviously, the news that he had obtained a Blevel Phantom Beast egg had not yet spread. In other words, everyone knew that someone picked out a Blevel Eudemon's egg from the 11 random Eudemon's eggs, but they didn't know who it was. Only those famous schools can quickly grasp the specific news, right? Chen Qiu thought to himself, but didn't answer right away, so Zheng Yun snorted directly, "Why? Naturally, it's because our brother Yu, with his superb knowledge, selected a Blevel egg from random Eudemon's eggs. Phantom Beast eggs. Learning knowledge is naturally due to practice. How can a person like you who can only talk about it on paper understand it? Famous schools are different. They naturally look for people who are knowledgeable and practical. That's our brother Yu." Zheng Yun raised his neck triumphantly, as if he was the one who was specially recruited. Chen Qiu patted Zheng Yun's shoulder amusedly, "Keep a low profile, keep a low profile." Wang Xingkai was almost off by Zheng Yun's embarrassing appearance, as if a thorn had been choked in his throat. He felt very uncomfortable. She glared at Zheng Yun fiercely, and turned her head unwillingly. "Chen Qiu hasn't even admitted it yet, you start jumping up and down, be careful that the bamboo basket fetches water in vain." Zheng Yun made a face at Wang Xingkai, then looked at Chen Qiu with a smile, "Yuezi, which schools? That's why you think I've been specially recruited?" Chen Qiu asked with a smile. "That's right, I have a channel." Cough cough. Zheng Yun coughed lightly, seeing Chen Qiu's slightly puzzled eyes, he quickly explained, "Actually, I passed by the office before and heard Lao Lu talking about it with other teachers." Chen Qiu chuckled. Wang Xingkai at the front desk heard it, and frowned even tighter. He was really recruited? Chen Qiu put the documents in his arms in front of Zheng Yun. "These 3 schools." Zheng Yun took it curiously and took a look. "Fuck, shit, brother Yu is awesome, you are my forever." Zheng Yun's series of rainbow farts made Wang Xingkai even more curious. When he turned his head to look over, he saw the 3 schools listed on the information, and his expression changed drastically. How is it possible? Qing University, Mo University, State University, unexpectedly issued a special invitation to Chen Qiu at the same time? Wang Xingkai's face was pale, as if he had received a heavy blow. He turned back stiffly. Chen Qiu ignored her, casually thinking about the giant ugly fish phantom beast egg at home. In a few days, it will hatch, and he has to quickly formulate a training plan. Zheng Yun quietly leaned into Chen Qiu's ear, interrupted his thoughts, and asked in a low voice, "Uzi, which school do you choose? Magic University or State University?" Chen Qiu was taken aback. "Why don't you ask Qingda? Qingda specially recruited you to the breeding department, so I definitely won't go there. After all, you already have a Blevel phantom beast, so you must go to the training department." Zheng Yun fantasized about Chen Qiu's all-powerful appearance in Huanshao University. "Then you participate in the Trainer League competition, and I will be your logistics team leader, and then we will win the championship together and become famous all over the world." Chen Qiu. "What's wrong with the breeding department?" Chen Qiu asked suspiciously. "You reading www.yuyuganshu.com. The breeding department is all nerds, and it's not easy to get ahead." Zheng Yun replied subconsciously, and then he changed his mind and thought that Chen Qiu is actually a super university bully. He immediately laughed, "Ah, I'm not talking about you. In fact, you can go to the breeding department. You are so good at studying, you should be able to make a name for yourself." "But," Zheng Yun sighed, "your first phantom beast is a Blevel phantom beast. Wouldn't it be a pity? If you train again in the department, you will be able to stand out immediately and become a top class in the department. My grades are only 98th, and I can still enter the top class." Chen Qiu was stunned. Not to mention Chen Qiu, even Wang Xingkai in the front seat pricked up his ears and turned to listen. "You have to know that when you first enter the university, there will be a National University League game, and all the freshmen are required." Zheng Yun persuaded, "For the freshmen who enter school, those who have grade C and above are either the first and second in the city or the province, or they are the children of super families. Not to mention that you have a Blevel phantom beast. You must be specially recruited. If you can't say it, you can directly enter the official team." The resources you can get every month, tisk tisk. Zheng Yun's eloquent introduction made Chen Qiu suddenly realize that this was the reason why he was given a special move. But why did Qingde recruit him, the breeder department? Wang Xingqiu was really upset in his heart. Why didn't he have the luck to pick a level phantom beast egg? In the admissions office of Qingde University, a male teacher sat on a chair in embarrassment, looking at the young and beautiful female teacher in front of him. Qing Qing, is it really okay for you to be like this? If you change the training department to the breeding department, then the competition. Zhang Qing snorted coldly. There is no rule that students from the breeding department cannot participate in the competition, and I have already registered him, so let's do it. The male teacher smiled wryly, and had no choice but to paste the names on the form on the class form of the breeding department. That name is, surprisingly, Chen Qiu. Teacher Lu Cheng is standing on the podium, talking about filling in the detailed information of the volunteer. Most universities now have training departments and breeding departments. Of course, there are other departments that also involve eudemons. But there is one thing, the teacher wants to remind you, especially the top 100 students. Which one is your first eudemons good at? You guys tend to choose similar types. Lu Cheng talked about it above, and Chen Qiu listened to it with great interest. For example, Zhang Ru, the eudemons you picked is Thunder Mouse, right? Zhang Ru was a short girl sitting in the first row. She nodded, that's right, it's the Thunder Rat who laid eggs. Lu Cheng said with a smile, in addition to the training department and the breeding department, all students who have eudemons can choose, and you can also choose a major related to electricity. Because, if you graduate in the future, you can take the Thunder Mouse to work in related institutions. The first Phantom Beast is usually the closest to the Beast Master, and is usually the most powerful. Phantom Beasts hatched from eggs will be more obedient. In the future, if you have the opportunity to go to the Illusion of Outland and sign a contract to bind a higher level Phantom Beast cub, or an adult Phantom Beast, you can also try to change careers. Universities will not only look at grades like high schools, but also look at the Phantom Beasts you raise, whether they will help you achieve some achievements in this major. Of course, those in the training department mainly look at the strength of the Phantom Beasts, while those in the breeding department look at all aspects of raising Phantom Beasts. The above are the various situations of the university. You can fill in the relevant majors according to your preferences, future career plans, and the eudemons traits you signed. When most students choose eudemons, they already have a career plan, so they will choose eudemons with corresponding qualifications. So I believe you all know it well. After Lu Cheng finished speaking, he sent out the volunteer form in his hand. After filling it out, you can just hand it in. Here, the teacher wishes you a bright future. The specific admission line for each school can be found in the materials in your hands. Remember, the first choice had better exceed the admission threshold by a few points, otherwise you might be eliminated for the second choice. Chen Qiu looked at the form in his hand, and after filling in his name, class, and other information, he turned to the column of special moves at the back. He is different from others, he only needs to fill in the number of the special move. There are 3 schools, whichever school he chooses, he just fills in the special recruitment number given to him by that school, and that's it. Chen Qiu took a deep breath, and filled in the number of Qingde's special move. In the past few days, he has watched some competition videos, all of which are competitions between Phantom Beasts, all kinds of skills are flying around, and the one played is called Wonderful. However, the more Chen Qi watched, the faster his heart beat. The cubs I raised are going to compete in such a dangerous arena? No, he will feel distressed to death. The training department is definitely not an option. Coupled with the goals he set for himself before, Qingde's breeding system is the best choice. For the study of subjects, he believes that he will not lose to anyone. Zheng Yun turned his head sideways, and was stunned when he saw the number written by Zheng Yun. After comparing the information in front of him, he whispered in disbelief, Yuezi, do you really want to choose this way? Although I am sure that you can also become famous in the breeding department, but this is a waste of your level phantom beast. Chen Qiu shook his head, I really don't want to go to the training department. Seeing Chen Qiu's serious expression, Zheng Yun sighed. He knew that once his best friend made a decision, he would not change it. Okay, then I will also choose the university on the North Shore, Jiaotong University, which happens to be in the same city as Qingda University. Zheng Yun filled in his wish. The training department you chose. Chen Qiu saw his choice. Yes, my phantom beast egg is Moo milk, and the ground system can be offensive and defensive. I am quite a trainer in my dreams. Zheng Yun smiled and said, it's just right, you have chosen the breeding department, and you can help me formulate a breeding plan then. Originally, I planned to be your logistics support. You must know that the milk produced by Miu Miu's milk is very useful for the phantom beasts in their young stages. Chen Qiu smiled, I know, my mother also has a thick cow, which is the final evolution of Miu Miu's milk. A bucket of milk can be sold for a lot of money. Zheng Yun blinked at him, hey, I also have this idea in choosing Mu Nai. From now on, my pocket money will be settled, so I don't need to ask my dad for it. He. Chen Qiu. Immediately, Chen Qiu was not polite, and directly booked a month's milk with Miu Nai with Zheng Yun. After filling out the volunteers, Chen Qiu and Zheng Yun participated in the last class meeting organized by the class. In fact, after graduating from high school, many classmates will never see each other again. However, most of the students in the class knew that Chen Qiu was really a top student, not as good as Zhang Zili in the next class, who always came to sneer. Someone also asked Chen Qiu about the application he had filled out, and asked him if he wanted to repeat it. Zheng Yun immediately told about Chen Qiu being specially recruited by Qing University. This time the class became lively. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. It's not that no one in the class is admitted to a first-class university. Basically, the top 10 students in the class can all go to a first-class university. Wang Xingkai, who also heard that Chen Qiu chose the breeding department of Qingda University, so he also chose the training department of Qingda University. She just wasn't reconciled and wanted to overwhelm Chen Qiu again. Zheng Yun hooked Chen Qiu's neck, went to eat with his classmates, and said proudly, I heard before that Zhang Zili chose Qingda, and then you can slap him in the face. At the breeding house that day, it was actually a slap in the face. Chen Qiu laughed. In fact, he didn't take Zhang Zili seriously. In his opinion, this guy was just a clown. Yes, it was funny to see him running away in despair that day. Chen Qiu smiled calmly, but he began to miss his precious egg in his heart. Now it's time for the music, but... He glanced at his classmates, it seemed that he was going to go back and apologize to Zai Zai. However, he has already thought up a breeding plan for the giant ugly fish cubs. An incredible breeding program. After dinner, Chen Qiu refused to go to sing again, and hurried back to his rental room. After apologizing to Baby Egg and playing music to it, he started placing orders online. Buy these, and also want these, tisk, it's really expensive. Chen Qiu glanced at the amount in the shopping cart, sighed slightly, and turned to look at his precious egg. Zai Zai, I paid all my current money to support you. What Chen Qiu didn't know was that his precious egg moved slightly imperceptibly. Ever since Chen Qiu bought the egg of this giant ugly fish, the 3 rows of subtitles have been hanging on its head. Baby ugly fish laying eggs qualification, grade B potential value, 79. For this reason, Chen Qiu deliberately found a book about aptitude and potential value, and supplemented his knowledge. Eudemon's qualifications are divided into S, A, B, C, D, E, F. The classification of potential value is also very detailed, S, more than 100 A, 81,100 B, 6,180 C, 5160D, 3150E, 1130F, 110. Those below 1 are aptitudes of a few tenths, and naturally they are eudemons below F rank. Most of these phantom beasts were released and placed in some artificial protected areas. In the illusion of outer domain, these phantom beasts would never survive, because too poor aptitude means too poor strength, which was checked to the extreme. Of course, there are some cute and outstanding phantom beasts, such as Huojunhu, White Pompon, etc. Because of its outstanding appearance, it is relatively rare, so even if the qualifications are extremely poor, some people will buy them as pets. So eudemons look at strength first, and aptitude second, especially for young eudemons, aptitude comes first. After the young eggs hatch, phantom beasts will be born, and phantom beasts are also divided into levels. Divided into elementary, intermediate, advanced, special, guardian, monarch, legend. Correspondingly, the corresponding beast trainers and breeders also add suffixes to this category. A beast trainer needs to have a phantom beast of the highest level, so he can be called a trainer of this level. A breeder can be called a breeder of this level if he cultivates a phantom beast of this level. For example, if you have 1 intermediate eudemons and 2 elementary eudemons, then this beast master is an intermediate beast trainer. Beast familiar trainers can only have a maximum of 6 phantom beasts before the guardian level, 6 more at the guardian level, 6 more at the monarch level, and 6 more at the legendary level. It's just that unless you reach an intermediate trainer and pass the assessment, you can have 3 phantom beasts, and you can only have a maximum of 6 phantom beasts if you reach an advanced trainer. Of course, these are ordinary beast masters who have not entered Huanju University. As long as you are admitted to Huanju University, you can directly have the qualification of 6 Huanju. These are the specific circumstances of the beast trainer, with strict requirements. On the contrary, it is a breeder, who only needs to obtain the qualification of a junior breeder, and then he can have the qualification to raise at least 20 phantom beasts, and the qualification to sign and bind 6 phantom beasts. Because the breeder does not have to sign an agreement with the eudemons, just to raise them. You can raise your own phantom beasts, or you can raise other people's phantom beasts. The mainland limits the number of phantom beasts for beast trainers, so that everyone can devote themselves to cultivating phantom beasts, rather than purely using phantom beasts as a tool for fighting. Seeing this, Chen Qiu nodded. This was an important reason why he didn't want to be a beast trainer. 2 days later, the orders he placed online arrived one after another. During these 2 days, Chen Qiu cleaned up the kitchen in the rented house that had not been used for a long time. And in the place where the cutting board was originally placed in the kitchen, a small water bed was placed. After getting ready, Chen Qiu began to wait happily for the juvenile ugly fish to break its shell. The 2 weeks actually passed very quickly. On the last day, Chen Qiu did nothing but squatted next to the small bucket with a small stool, staring at his precious egg. The bucket was originally full, but now the liquid inside has bottomed out. If at the beginning, Chen Qiu thought it was because of his own container that the nutrient solution evaporated, now even fools can see that it is not the reason. It seems that you are different from other eggs. You seem to be a bit bigger. Are you full of nutrient solution? Chen Qiu smiled and stretched out his finger to poke the eggshell. But when he heard a click, his fingers actually poked a hole in the eggshell. Oh my god, nothing will happen to you, baby. Chen Qiu was scared out of his wits. Fuck, there's a call from the Phantom Beast ambulance, are you going to the Phantom Beast Center? Chen Qiu frantically looked for the phone. But at this moment, the sound of click sounded again. He turned his head abruptly, and saw that the top of the eggshell was all shattered, and a dusty head was exposed. A pair of dead fish eyes with dark pupils just met Chen Qiu's eyes. Ugly! The giant ugly fish yelled at Chen Qiu softly. The voice was completely different from its dead fish eyes, it was extremely soft, like the gentleness of a spring breeze. Chen Qiu was stunned on the spot. Although the phantom beasts all speak the phantom beast language, but the beast master who is bound to the phantom beast can understand what the phantom beast is saying. Are you okay? Chen Qiu swallowed his saliva, his beating heart finally calmed down slowly. Ugly the giant ugly fish nodded, and whispered again. Chen Qiu finally breathed a sigh of relief and sat down on the ground. Damn, he thought that the egg shell was softened by the nutrient solution, and he punctured it by himself, and something would happen to the baby fish. Seeing Chen Qiu like this, the giant ugly fish's eyes were full of attachment and emotion. Since she was born, she has had a unique ability to feel everything within a range of 10 meters around her. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. She could clearly see everything Chen Qiu did to her. Just now, his master was afraid that something happened to him, so he was so flustered. And knowing that he was fine, he breathed a sigh of relief. She couldn't find such a master even with a lantern. The giant ugly fish blinked, moved, and then started the next step, gnawing on the eggshell. As she quickly finished eating the eggshell, her whole picture was exposed to the air. She's a little different from the normal ugly fish. Although she also has brown spots all over her body, she looks extremely ugly, and she is also a fat-head fish, but under her brown spots is a deep grey, with a hint of pearly grey. Chen Qiu took a deep breath, carefully observed the appearance and shape of his own giant ugly fish, took out a soft ruler by the way, and began to measure it. The length of the fins is slightly longer than normal by 1 centimeter, the length of the tail meets the standard, the width of the body exceeds the standard, and the whites of the eyes are pure and clear. No matter how you look at it, it is a normal and healthy giant ugly fish. After the inspection, Chen Qiu, who wrote the data in the notebook by the way, finally breathed a sigh of relief. The baby is scared to death, and he will never reach out to poke his baby egg before it is about to break its shell. Relieved, Chen Qiu smiled and touched the back of the giant ugly fish. I bought you a small bathtub, and it will be filled with water later for you to play in it. I'm sorry, I almost hurt you before. I don't have much pocket money now, so I can't change to a bigger house. I'll give you a spacious bathtub. Bear with it. Chen Qiu was still muttering, his eyes subconsciously glanced at the subtitle beside the giant ugly fish, and then he was stunned again.